Welcome to Binge Watchers, where we talk about the stories and characters we love and the shows they live in. My name is Ron, and let's finally talk about season 3 of Daredevil. So it's been almost a year, I think, and I'm sorry for pretty much just falling off the face of the earth. I'm happy to make another video to talk about that in more details, but it's mostly just life, and family and work. If you want to hear about it though, just let me know. So, Daredevil, it's been canceled. Pretty much the whole Marvel Netflix thing has been canceled. I still want to talk about it though. Let's call it closure. So at this point, I can't really say that the whole Netflix Marvel thing has been a success, but it definitely produced some great TV. And now, after both Iron Fist and Luke Cage, and now the rest of it has been canceled, it feels like we're going back to basics with this season of Daredevil. Out of all the Netflix Marvel shows, Daredevil probably was the one that was the most consistently solid. I thought season 1 was great. I thought that the Punisher half of season 2 was great, and season 3 was actually also pretty great. I'm kind of bummed out it was canceled. I'm not gonna get into hard spoilers here, but I am kind of assuming that most of you have watched this season by now, so very mild, let's call it soft spoilers ahead. So this season to me felt like a soft reboot of the entire franchise. They pretty much ignore the Defenders. There's even one throwaway line where when someone asks, "What about your other super friends?" and Matt's like, "It's not their fight." Which I think is code for, let's just not, okay? Let's keep this, we have a good thing here. Let's not ruin it again. Another reason this felt like a soft reboot is that it's kind of a replay of season 1. Pretty much the same story. I'm not really complaining about that, by the way. Season 1 was great, and Fisk remains my favorite villain of the whole franchise. But as I said, it's back to basics. Daredevil versus Fisk, no ninjas, no mystical weapons. Foggy and Karen mostly just walk around looking worried. Matt is mostly a shit friend and kind of a dick to everyone, and the fight scenes kick ass. This season we also get another beautifully crafted villain with Bullseye, which I loved that no one refers to as Bullseye, but everyone is also kind of fine with him just being unnaturally good at throwing stuff. At first I was worried because these shows don't have a great track record when it comes to having multiple villains in the same season, but they more than pulled it off here. Poindexter gets a full arc, his motivations make sense, and watching Fisk manipulate him into blind loyalty was just incredible. The episode where Fisk learns about Poindexter's past and his therapy and builds this whole psychological profile of him designed to abuse his weaknesses was not just my favorite episode of the whole season, but it was one of the most memorable episodes of TV that I watched around that time. I love it when shows break the mold a bit and take a more artistic direction to tell a specific story, and this one was just so incredibly well done. And of course, no season of Daredevil can be complete without a long and satisfying fight scene, by the end of which Daredevil can barely stand after having impossibly kicked all of the asses. And we definitely get that here with the prison break scene, which I don't remember how long it actually was, but I remember it as just like a full 45-minute glorious action scene. If they wanted to get my attention back after Iron Fist and Luke Cage, they got it. One of the things I liked most about season 1, and it's pretty much the same here, is that the season is as much about Fisk as it is about Daredevil, maybe even more so. In this season, most of the story revolves around how Fisk is helping the FBI take down other criminals, basically his competition, and in return he's placed under house arrest in a super fancy hotel. And throughout the season, you see how he reestablishes himself as the Kingpin. Fisk is several levels beyond anybody else in the show in the depth of his character and in the quality of his performance. The nuance of his character is amazing, and he manages to be the most manipulative but also the most honest character in the story. This season is not totally free of all the things that plague the other Netflix Marvel shows. You do have a lot of filler. The season is still longer than it needs to be. They take a few episodes to just kind of get going, and they do tend to repeat themselves. Foggy, for example, who was one of my favorite characters up until now, kind of sucks this season. Mostly you just see him in his amazing apartment complaining to his beautiful girlfriend about how hard everything is, and she was built up to be this kick-ass lawyer in previous seasons, and here she's basically just reduced to, oh no honey no, oh no honey no. Matt's whole thing, which is of course super central to the Daredevil character, is his complicated relationship with God and the church, but even that gets very repetitive at some point, with him having the same will he won't he relationship with faith, I guess. It's interesting and I liked it, and it gives us important insight into the character, but it just does it a bunch of times over and over. We also get a Karen Page episode that kind of reminded me of the Trish episode from season 2 of Jessica Jones. It wasn't really necessary, and it felt like we were just kind of spinning our wheels for that episode. And after that, the season loses its edge a bit and wraps up almost too nicely. Everything works out, and they even do the thing where they go through each and every storyline to show you that all is well in the world. Or is it? The bottom line is, I thought it was a fantastic season. I had a lot of fun with it. I'm bummed out that it's canceled, and was packed with great moments. It did feel like I was watching season 1 again at times, but maybe that's exactly what the story needed to get going again. I still thought that it was one of the best seasons of the whole Netflix Marvel thing. I can't say that that is saying much. I'm not really excited about any of these shows anymore, or what's left of them, but I am interested to see if we'll get anything else like a Daughters of the Dragon show, or more Punisher, or was that also canceled? Anyway, I'd love to know what you think, now a year later about this show. I have a bunch of other videos that I've already made throughout this year that I am going to be releasing soon. I'm going to be talking about Jessica Jones and Warrior and a bunch of other shows. Thank you for sticking with me. If you're going to be talking about spoilers, please use spoiler tags in your comments. And if you're finding Binge Watchers for the first time, welcome. I'd like to invite you to join the Binge Watchers community. Come talk about... It's been a while since I said this, but yeah, come talk about TV with us. It's a good time. Subscribe to the channel. But in any case, keep binging, and I will see you next time.